Back in the day, J Kid was the man, boy. Put the team on his back like a Jansport. Ben 10 with the dribble drive handoff, pick and roll, full contact. This is a man sport. County of Kings, really the Kingsborough. You know Crown Heights, so you know that sound right. Brooklyn Bridges, DFS defending. The Brooklyn Block Party, claps and double digits. Got the Barclays clicking, the whole block is with it. Left a lot on the table, now we coming to get it. The shook one's gone, we two Brooklyn strong. Can't stop, won't stop from the Brooklyn block. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, 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 B-R-O-O-K, we well. Okay, we well. Okay, we well. Okay, we well. B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N.
Head hit. Cam Thomas.
Just give me the ball, I'm fitting the score next. My J is all net, me and Jay just all next. Getting back on defense, hit him with strong flex. I'm official like a ref, trying not to get attacked. And we go hard on Brooklyn, that's a promise. Watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Make sure watch me like a Cam, cause it's my time. Switch, they can't guard me, especially side the Barclays. Spin between crosses, I can score with both hands. Midi flawless, and I get to play like an artist. I'm a boss smith, so you should respect my handle. I see the big picture with the Nets like a mantle. In the future, I see us as champs too. And when we do, I'ma do a Brooklyn dance move. The sturdy or Millie rock like a FanDuel. And that's a bet like my parlay on FanDuel.
B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N, B-R-O-O-K-L-Y-N.
Oh my God, yo, it's Big Fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. Shout out to my guy, the Kitchen Sink, for pulling up. We about to get into a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But before we do, please like the video on the way in. You know what I'm saying, holla at us. We appreciate those likes. They really count, really matter for the algorithms. Appreciate that. Nets fans is the best fans, but we here on something different. You know what I'm saying, we here with Kitchen Sink. Kitchen Sink, just give us a quick commercial before we get into the content.
Yeah, check us out, Kitchen Sink. Most weeks, Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Just check it out. We talk about a little bit of everything. I'm about to put the link to the YouTube page up right now for everybody. Give me 2 seconds while I copy and paste. But definitely appreciate the bro Breeze for having me up on the show, and we're gonna get into some good stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, what I will say is, I pride myself on quality content, and I just want to say that there's a lot of things, that you could do to get viewers, get subscribers. Now, I'm not saying Shannon Sharp did this to go viral, but I just want to let you know that Big Fan Breezy will not be clapping cheeks in the background to get my subscribers up. I'm going to continue to do the work. And you know what I'm saying? I just thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? Unc was going in. He gives me pride as a man knowing that I could be 50 plus still. You know what I'm saying?
Man's about to be 57 soon. So that's he's close to 60.
You know what I'm saying?
But shout out to him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see Nightcap? Chad had me crying about
Chad. Chad is hilarious, man.
He was like, "I'm proud of you, my boy. I'm proud of you." He was in there doing your thing.
He said we got to work on the endurance.
Nah, that was wild though.
Yeah, shout out to him.
Shannon wild for that, man. I mean, first he came out and said he was hacked. Then he said, "Oh no, I had just threw my phone on the bed." I don't know, man. I don't know, Shannon. I don't know, because there's a couple things that was suspect. Because when Chad was talking about the stamina game, he was like, "Nah, I was already in it for like 25 minutes." And it's like, all right. So if you was already in it for 25 minutes, did you pick up the jack while you was in it to see if somebody called you or something? Like, I don't know. So
it looked, I have to be honest, it looked like a want to go viral moment, and he did, so it was successful. I don't think he gets the same scrutiny as a Paul George. I think Paul George, I mean, he still had on his suit from work. You know what I'm saying? He still had on his work. Yeah, he still had. He still had the same suit he wore to the ESPN studios. He was in, like, you know what I'm saying? Optimals and hoes is all the playing those.
Yo, he was like, though. I heard an interview with him. I forgot what it was on, but he was like, yo, he was just burning a little tree, man. Like, you know, like, I don't understand what's the big deal about that. And I mean, frankly, I don't either, you know. Like, he's from Cali. Yeah. I've been out in Denver a decade now. It's legal out here. So it's a cigarette, man. I'm holding one right now. It's a cigarette.
10 years in Colorado, man. Salute to that, man. Yeah, 10 years. That's a whole decade, man. You did it, man. You know what I'm saying? That's incredible. But what I will say is, I do believe in professionalism and integrity, professionalism. But do I think that Shannon Sharp should be scrutinized and all of that and this and that about this? No. You know what I mean? If he was, slapping on her ass wild crazy, calling her out her name, saying you love this daddy dick and all this type of shit.
He asked whose was it? That's all he asked. That's all I really heard. You know what I'm saying? Like with the talking, wow, he was like, whose is it? And I mean, come on, we all ask that question.
Yeah. So no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to let you know, Griffey and Breeze will not be pulling any antics of the like trying to get my subs up. You know what I mean?
We ain't rolling like that, man. Like, nah.
Well, shout to the Tip Off Brooklyn Nets podcast. He said he subbed to your podcast, P.
Appreciate
so that word, that's good. But I was actually kind of, stalling, waiting for Claude Smith. Claude Smith is the inspiration of this actual stream or this episode. We were talking about, well, I wanted to talk about two things. The first thing I wanted to talk about is fathers and sons in basketball. The part that he wanted to talk about, he's not here yet, so we could get to that at the second part of the show. Now, and to my knowledge, the only duos was King Griffey and his son, and now it's going to be LeBron and his son. And I asked P specifically to be here because growing up, if y'all don't know, we childhood friends. He was a King Griffey Jr. fan. Facts. I've never even really watched baseball, but I don't know if he remembers this, but one of the ways that I actually met P and got to know P is because one of the first hats that I bought was a Seattle Mariners hat. My name is, full disclosure, my name is Solomon. So when I seen that hat, it had the S and it had the dope design inside of the S. So I wanted the hat. I didn't know that was P's favorite team because of King Griffey Jr.
No, it wasn't my favorite team, bro. I like Griffey. Griffey's my favorite player of all time. Like, when it comes to baseball, like, he's the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I like Seattle. They was cool. Like, fuck them in '95. They beat us in the playoffs. It's Yankees all day.
Right. Yankees. But for Ken Griffey Jr., I remember you had sneakers. I remember you used to talk about his game, how he was a center fielder, how he could do everything. So, I wanted to have a conversation because I thought it was dope. And I don't know if it got the same kind of, how you say, not notoriety, but the same kind of hype that LeBron James and Bronny is getting. I felt like, I don't think that they downplayed the King Griffey thing with his son, but I do think that they, to extent, hyping LeBron James up more than they did back then. But from your perspective, what was that like? You know what I'm saying? Seeing King Griffey and his son play together. What was that like for baseball? And what did it do for baseball?
Well, first of all, bro, like to address the notoriety part, it was like talked about a lot. Like it was huge. But you also got to understand the time that it was. Like Griffey came up in '89. So, 89, bro. Like there was no such thing as social media, the internet, like the way how sports was covered was totally different. So
Publications,
like just
magazines.
totally different. Like you got your your couple of minutes of sports highlights on your local news. You know what I'm saying? You got George Michael's Sports Machine. Shout out to George Michael's Sports Machine. I was just talking about this with another friend of mine. Like, yo, before ESPN, when you didn't have people with nothing, yo, that was the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that was shit. But
so hold on. So who was he? Spites. I don't know who that was. Mike the Sports Machine. Who was that exactly?
George Michael's Sports Machine. He came on NBC, bro, back in the day when we was kids, and like that was Sports Center before Sports Center, really. Like that was how.
Okay.
That's when as a kid, I would sit down and actually get to see like 30 minutes of just nonstop sports highlights, bro. So that shit was dope. I used to stay up late to watch it all the time.
So he was before Amar Rashad.
Yeah, a little bit. Like Ahmad was still playing for the Vikings, I think, when George Michael's Sports Machine had first started. Because if people don't know, which is crazy, Ahmad Rashad like got big with inside the NBA and doing all of that, but he played football. He didn't even play basketball. Right. He played football, and he just got cool with Jordan and super tight with him, and that's what like kind of elevated his next next part of his career. Yeah. But digressing though, back to your question, as far as Griffey's are concerned, when Ken Griffey Jr. came up, like first of all, he came up super quick. Like baseball is a little bit different than basketball, football. You got the whole minor league system, and most of the time players have to go through like each level of the minor leagues before they get to the major league. And it's like, single A, double A, triple A, all that. Griffey, like they put him in at like double A almost like right away when he got drafted by the Mariners in '87. And he went through the minor leagues quick to the point where he was already up in the majors in '89, which was like kind of unheard of back then. So he was, crazy, bro. Like he was crazy. He came into the league crazy. So total different than Bronny in that aspect, because Bronny is serviceable, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? He definitely has the potential to get better, but right now he's serviceable. Griffey came in #1 overall pick. You know what I'm saying? So the target was there. And his pops was a good player too. Like his pops wasn't LeBron by any stretch of imagination. You know what I'm saying? His pops is more like a, let's see if I could put this in basketball terms.
Kind of Del Curry, Steph Curry type of thing.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. That's exactly how the Griffeys were. But like I think if that situation were to be now, I honestly think the Griffeys would be more publicized because Junior was so good and so great, and Bronny really wasn't. So I think like they would have, if people think it's crazy with Bron and his son, I think it would be even crazier with Griffey and Griffey Jr., in my opinion.
Okay, so let's just slow it down. Talk to me about the statistic wise, the gap between the Ken Griffey and the Ken Griffey Jr. And from what I could see, it looked like it built their relationship. They look close. They look thicker than thieves, for lack of a better term.
Man. Bro, like the energy on that team was crazy. If you just watch highlights, like just imagine, like just think about it like this. You're a father, I'm a father. You know what I'm saying? We both have fathers. Think about this, bro. Imagine like you got a gig where it's like you love your gig, you done put blood, sweat, and tears into it for years. It's the family business. It's how you have supported your children and your whole household, basically. And now your son is about to do the same thing that you've been doing for 15, 20 years. That like there's got to be no feeling better than that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no,
So
I do. I agree. I just wanted you to address two comments. LBL for Life one says Griffey was the first marketable black player in modern shoe history. How true is that to your knowledge?
I mean, for the most part, you could say yeah when it comes to that because I mean, really, if LBL, like real talk, baseball players aren't marketable. Period. Like, let's be real. How many of them have signature shoes? Mike Trout, maybe Francisco Lindor. I think he's got a signature shoe with New Balance. Like, it's a very few. Like Otani just got one with New Balance, I think. But I digress. Baseball players aren't marketable, so to say he was the first marketable black player, I mean, yeah, maybe I give you that, but what's really marketable when it comes to baseball players? Like, that's my whole thing, man. Like, it's a shame, bro. Like Aaron Judge, like, he's crazy right now. And I think this dude made like $6 million off of endorsements last year.
Wow.
6 million, bro. That's nothing when
I
you
was
think
about to say
about
that's not a lot. Yeah, according to what athletes make with endorsements. Let me ask you what. Shout out to This Is JTV. Subscribe to him too. That's my guy. Y'all know that. Griffey. He said Griffey kicks was fire. When's the last baseball kick people actually rock? So my question to you is: now I remember these sneakers. These sneakers is fire. Do you? I do think that's the best baseball sneaker that ever was. Do you agree with that, or maybe no?
No, absolutely. And I mean, that's exactly why. Here's back to my point with how baseball players are so not marketable. The most popular baseball cleats these days are actually basketball sneakers that have been converted into cleats and spikes. Like people rocking Jordans all the time.
That's
People rocking
crazy.
Kobe's all the
I
time.
thought you were
Like,
gonna say football or Deion Sanders or somebody.
nah, bro. Like if you look at the majority of the heat on the baseball field, it's they're basically like Jordans or Kobe's or something like that, and they just had like the Sue Surgeon dude or somebody else like just put cleats on them. Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
that just basically sums up the whole how baseball is not marketable, bro. Like unfortunately, it's just not a marketable game. That's another story for another day. Actually, shout out to my boy Will Martin. Him and I did a show on his channel, 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Shout out to them a couple months ago, just basically talking about how baseball needs to revitalize and re-strategize their whole everything, bro, because it's the way how the game is going is dying as far as popularity is concerned, and it's because of the microwave society we live in. They're not capturing the short attention span of the younger fans, and because of that, the game is dying. But we digressing like a motherfucker.
No, it's all in context. It's all in context.
But what
Again,
I was gonna say is let's go back to what you was asking me about the kind of the difference between like the two, and what I was about to do was look up they stats real quick, like career stats, just to kind of give you a context.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Again, I'm not a baseball watcher. To my knowledge, P is an avid baseball watcher. You know what I mean? I never really got into it. I understand the game listening to fans like P. He had a show called Double Play Sports Hour. I definitely used to tap into that. But honestly, I never looked at it that way. I just knew that baseball players made a lot of money because they ain't had no cap. Excuse me. And I was just like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't even need endorsement money if you ain't got no cap. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no cap. What you need endorsement money for?
The players union is the mob. So like,
no
if
doubt.
anything about like they don't play yeah, they get bread. Like Shohei Ohtani signed a $700 million deal. Like, come on, that's crazy. $700 million. Juan Soto probably about to get somewhere like 550, 600 from the Yankees this offseason. So, so Griffey Jr., his career stats, he had a 284 career batting average, which is pretty good. 630 career home runs. When he retired, he was like 5th on the all-time list. I think it's couple people passed him. He might be like 7th, 8th, something like that on the list now. He had 2,781 career hits. So, the Hall of Fame, those are Hall of Fame numbers. Now, you look at his dad, and not so much when it comes to Hall of Fame stats. So his dad, he had. Let me pull this up on Baseball Reference. Sorry about that.
Where did he play? Was he's an outfielder?
Yeah, he was an outfielder. They both are outfielders. Ken Griffey also played a little bit of first base too. Ken Griffey Sr. So he had. Remember, I told you, Junior had 630 career home runs. Senior had 152. So
that's a big difference.
Big difference right there. Now, hits, Senior had some pretty good years. Like, don't get me wrong, he wasn't a slouch at all, because he had 2,143 hits in his career. So Junior had about 650 more hits than Senior, and that's not even. We can't even put in the stats Junior's defensive ability. Like, that dude was like a god in center field. Like, he caught everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, he had a rocket for an arm. So,
climbing walls and all that, right?
Exactly. At Yankee Stadium, he climbed the wall up like nothing. Like, put cleat holes in the wall.
Damn.
Gangster.
Yeah.
Like, super gangster. Like, fuck your wall. I'm putting cleat holes in your wall.
That's tough, man.
And he hated the Yankees too. That's another thing to know. Junior hated the Yankees because Senior played for the Yankees in the 70s and hated that George Steinbrenner. Shout out to the late great George Steinbrenner, the way he treated his dad. So he vowed to never play for the Yankees, which broke my heart as a Yankee fan and a Griffey fan, because ultimately I would have loved to see that happen.
Okay, so let me ask you this, because I know that dynamic, because of what you said, and Ken Griffey Jr. and what's his face that went to the Yankees from Seattle, that was supposed to be just as good as Ken Griffey. Who?
A-Rod?
Yeah.
Man, why we got to bring that dude up?
Yeah, I mean, it's all context. We're gonna bring it back, and again,
the Minnesota Timberwolves minority owner. Let's call him that.
Okay.
Can we call him that? I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Like, I got.
So even when he came to the team, you wasn't a fan, or is it because what he did to the team, you wasn't a fan?
I was a fan before he came to the Yankees.
I remember you talking about him on Seattle, but him and Ken Griffey Jr.
Less and less of a fan because of his antics on and off the field. Like, he's kind of bozo-ish, like, with a lot of the shit that he did. Like,
how come? I don't know.
So I'll never forget. It was this one game they were playing in Toronto, and it was a pop fly in the air, and your man's like rounding the bases and like screams up in the air at the player to try to distract him from catching his pop fly. Like, who the fuck does that? Like, that's
not Yankee baseball.
That's not baseball. Like,
right.
You don't do that. It's an unwritten rule in baseball that you don't do that. It's like 7-year-old little league shit. So
moogly.
And exactly. And that's the type of stuff. Never forget his ex-wife showed up to a game with a fuck A-Rod tattoo on the back of her neck. Yeah. Like when they was going through their separation.
Tattoo? Not a t-shirt, a tattoo?
Yeah, but it was probably like henna or something, but she, tied her hair up in the bun so you could see the back of her neck and see it.
Okay.
But,
damn.
Yeah, this dude, man. Yeah, let's not talk.
Right. All right. So, far as ceilings, now we haven't seen Bronny play one day of basketball in the NBA as of yet, right? I seen him go up busting Taylor Horton Tucker ass, but everybody busts his ass in practice in the offseason. You know what I'm saying? So I guess he count. You know what I mean? But upside. Now we're not saying that like Ken Griffey Jr. he'll be better than his pops. I'm not saying that. But based on what you've seen and know, what do you feel about Bronny in the NBA playing with his pop? Just the dynamic, the same way the dynamic of the father-son with Ken Griffey and his son. Ken Griffey Sr. and his son playing. Well, how do you feel about this season in Lakers basketball with Bronny and Bron James? Just what's your thoughts on it ultimately?
I mean, first and foremost, I don't think we're gonna see a ton of it because I think a lot of Bronny's time early on definitely is going to be spent in the G League because he's not really NBA ready yet. Like he's got to, tighten up a lot of stuff in his game. And I'm not saying that his ceiling, like he can't get to that point. He definitely can because if you have the ability to make it to that level, you're going to have the ability to get better and better. That's all on you. That's all on you wanting to put the work in and be hungry and be the last person out of practice, first person in practice, all of that stuff. But
Absolutely.
I think like this season, Bronny's definitely starting off in the G League. And we'll see how it goes. I personally think Bronny's minutes with the Lakers determine on how good they're going to be. I think the team is probably going to go out there and try to, do what everybody does, and that's play hard, try to make the playoffs and stuff like that. But I think come January, February-ish, maybe that's when they'll really start to assess where they're at and say we can really make a big playoff run, or maybe not so much. If it's not so much, then you're probably going to see a lot more Bronny playing for the Lakers. Whereas if they competitive and they got a shot, then you're probably not going to see a lot of Bronny.
All right, that's fair. Me personally, I feel like because of what happened with Bronny in college, I kind of want him the shot to trying to play an 82 game season, anyways. You know what I'm saying? And what people don't understand about college to the NBA is the games played. More times than not, college players are playing maybe 30 games or less in a season. I feel like NBA players, the acts of going from 30 to 82 is a lot. So even if you are great in the number one pick, you see how, and we'll bring it back real quick. You see how moderate Coach Pop was with a Wemby, making sure he played X amount of minutes, preserving him, knowing that this rookie season for him was more about statistics and him kind of warming up to the game and seeing where he's at, opposed to him trying to dominate, play 40 minutes, average 30 and 20. I think we will see some of that from Wemby, but just the preserving side of it, it's not the same as it was back in the day where maybe Allen Iverson would play, 40 minutes a game as a rookie, you know what I mean, coming to the league like that. So I do like how the NBA are trying to preserve the new generation of players. I think it's smart business, and it's just ultimately business savvy. You're protecting your investment. You looking for the elite players. I mean, the average life of a player in the NBA is four years. And that's if you know what I'm saying, stay in the league. That being said, it's not for everybody, you know what I'm saying? But with a father like LeBron James, I imagine he would keep Bronny in condition, make sure he got the best doctors, the best trainers. You know what I'm saying? So I could see Bronny having a longevity in the NBA, but to P's point, yeah, it is going to be a gradual process. He's a small guard, so a lot of him being in the league is going to be a skill. It's going to be based on skill. It was not, it's not going to be
all on defense, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see that? Do you see him as a little?
He has the ability. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's probably the best part of his game. This is defense. Like he doesn't really do any one thing really, really good. And those type of players, got places in the NBA. Like it's room for him. So he's got the ability to not only be there but also stick around. So like we'll see. Like the jury is out. I'll tell you one thing though, it won't be no Griffey senior and junior shit. So in 1990. Actually, in a couple days, the anniversary is coming up. It's September 14th. But September 14th, 1990, they're the only father and son duo that hit a home run in the same game.
That's tough.
So you ain't gonna be seeing no Bronny, LeBron 25 points each type game or nothing like that. You ain't gonna that ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
okay.
I'll go on record and saying we won't see that this year. Probably not even next year. We'll see.
Yeah, we definitely will see. Oh man, let me handle this troll real quick, man. This is the locker room. The locker room. This is the locker room. He's actually a LeBron. What Jay used to call himself, a LeBron lobbyist. He's a LeBron lobbyist. You know what I'm saying?
The PC version. I heard funniest ones, man. The Bron-sexual ones is the funniest. Like that had me crying when I heard that.
Yeah. LeBron jock strap sniffs LeBron jock strap sniffer.
Is he saying Bronny coming out dropping 30 night one?
I haven't seen the locker room's content in a minute. And as a recent, I haven't seen him discuss Bronny James. But when I did, I haven't seen him say that LeBron Jr. is coming out averaging 30 points. I haven't seen him say that. So I'm not going to cap on his name, but I did cook him. You know what I'm saying? He had found some pictures that a Knicks fan with me and a Knicks fan had. I think a Knicks fan.
I think he went digging through archives.
Yeah. He you know what I'm saying? I think, because we do the fan game. So they watch the channel. He got a bigger channel than me. So they seen me and him going back and forth. So they gave him some inside information. He tried to put a stain on my Nets fan jacket. You know what I mean? So we wound up kicking up dust. We had real debates. You know what I'm saying? I won. I think, you know what I mean? So, he's a good content creator. He's entertaining, but talking basketball, he can, but he had to match wits with me and he lost. You know what I'm saying? The best beat the best sometimes. It just is what it is. You know what I mean? Shout to the locker room, but he can never be my daddy. You know what I'm saying? I deserve a fan Father's Day card. You know what I'm saying? Out here, you know what I mean? The type of work I put in on his page. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? I went to his page, jump on screen, and yeah, man, I need a fan's Father's Day card from the locker room. Word. But again, man, shout to all of the fans, but Nets fans are the best fans. But again, man, I was kind of waiting for Claude, but we'll jump into it and then hopefully he'll show up sometime or not, right? So basically what he's saying is these elite players that are being scouted, he wished that they would go to historically black universities, HBCUs. That way they could build the brand, they could build the school, and he basically feels, I imagine, that they would still continue to get the support from the media, from the fans. You don't have to go to, kind of like what Dion did. You don't have to be scouted to these bigger schools with pretty much predominantly white, and the only African Americans that are there are the athletes or connected in some type of way, but mainly is predominantly white. And and I think he was saying that kind of like what is it? I forgot, what is it when you give back, when you come back to your school, it's not
homecoming. Like homecoming? Are you talking about homecoming when you come back to school?
No, not that. When you give back to the school, like you part of the school.
Alumni.
The alumni,
part of the Booster Club, all of that stuff.
Right. So basically, I think that's what he was saying, that we will be able to empower the education side of the HBCUs by the athletes committing to the HBCUs, bringing in money, bringing in revenue, bringing in ads, advertisement money, and all kind of money that comes with these athletes. And for context, if y'all don't know, when you pay attention to what these coaches make in college, they making big bang. Let me give you an example. They got JJ Redick because a college coach, and they got JJ Redick in LA because the college coach turned down the offer to be the coach there. And when you look at the pay difference from when he was making in the college to the end, or he would have been making with the Lakers, it ain't that big. It ain't like a big ass jump like, yo, I'm definitely leaving because I wanted that money. No, it was modest, to say the least. It was a modest jump, but not enough to leave what you love. And I think coaching on a collegiate level is different from coaching in the pros. So he decided to stay in college. So shout to him. But what do you think these star athletes could do for HBCU if they decided to commit to HBCUs opposed to going to the more well-known schools like maybe a Nebraska or Texas or something like that?
It could do positive things. However, you're now asking this 17, 18-year-old kid to potentially sacrifice their future. And the reason I say that is this. With these big universities, obviously comes better physical therapy, equipment, doctors, all of that stuff. And as we know, without the best of the best, your career can possibly become shorter. You have a higher chance of sustaining serious injuries. So that's the first thing that I'm looking at it that way, that I know a lot of people aren't looking at it that way. Because you're asking this 17-year-old, 18-year-old kid who has put in all this work their life to potentially jeopardize their career longevity-wise, because they're not going to have access to the top doctors. They're not going to have access to the top, training staffs and equipment and things like that, because they don't have the money that these big universities have. So unless they can match that, it's unfair to ask these children, because they're still children, to do that.
But this is my dilemma. These schools that are more well-known, that are not HBCUs, come up off of these student athletes. It's not like they got a bunch of money just because of the alumni. Yeah, I imagine there's some professionals that's alumni that come back and give money. Bro, so let me ask this.
It's a lot of these alumni at these big universities that are making 8 figures. Yeah. Not
that are not athletes, you saying?
Yeah, that are putting back into those schools. Like, bro, the system, college sports is the most evilest thing in the world of sports.
Wow.
It's something that's been built for 150 years a certain type of way.
And
we all know the certain type of way that I'm talking about, where the people at the top keep getting fatter and everybody else just kind of runs the checks up to them. Now, back in the days, at least now, the student athletes have the ability to receive money and not be penalized for it through NIL. But, bro, it's college sports is the most evilest thing in the world. And trust me, like, I watch all the college football. I watch most of the college basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I even watch college baseball. I watch college softball. I watch college sports. Sometimes if there's nothing on, I'm watching college volleyball or whatever random sport is on. So I'm part of the problem because I support it. But
okay, that's interesting.
It's college sports is the most evil thing in sports.
To add to that, again, I don't know verb like first person, right? But I do know that I've seen this movie. Now, give me the credit where it fits. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting my content from a movie. I watched The Program. That was a movie with Omar Epps and I think Halle Berry, and it was like a few other people in there that I can't remember offhand. But the movie was dope because it shows that the student athletes don't have no money, and it kind of shows you that the college got money, big money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a trophy. They'll show you off. Oh yeah, we got this star recruit and this and that. Meanwhile, they ribs is touching they fucking stomach. Like, so even with the whole Reggie Bush thing and all of that, you know what I'm saying? He said he took money. A lot of these times I feel like it's up to them to say no to the quote unquote evil, because it's not like, in my opinion, they looking for it. They already being put at a disadvantage by, you know, not being able to do X, Y, and Z, because the dedication you have to put into actually being a student athlete. I almost quit and didn't make my high school team because they wanted me to go to practice before I started school and then go after school. So this is high school level. I can only imagine on a collegiate level what they're asking these student athletes to do. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention they have to be on point with their books. I just want to say this, and then I want to get back to Pete. I was watching this. I'm a part of this web show called Hoop Realities, and they explain that the reason why, or the significance on why coaches look for student athletes to have better grades, A's, B's, just good with their grades, is because the initiative is the money. The coaches get paid an extra $5,000 when the student is an A student, or you know what I'm saying. I forget the exact number and the exact, but I think the range was 5 to 15,000 or something like that. But case in point is they look for student athletes to excel on the academics and on the field. And I'm just saying, yeah, it's feasible, but it gotta take a lot to be disciplined to do that, because how do you have time to make money on your own if you always at work and school? You have to find a job between practice and school. So it's just a lot for a student athlete.
Bro, most of these student athletes ain't going to class. Most of these student athletes are not going to class. Let's be real. Like, some of them are, don't get me wrong, but the majority of them are not, bro. They got people taking tests for them and all of that. Like I said, college sports is the most evil thing in sports. And it's all the way around. Like, here's the thing. Here's why I don't blame the student athletes one bit for their parts in anything. What happens when you put civilized people in the jungle? They either adapt or they get destroyed. So that's what the student athletes have had to do.
So you're opposed. So again, how would a HBCU, you know, become more financially independent to do these things? Is it up to the alumni? You know what I'm saying? The ones that graduates, the scholars that graduates, the valedictorians, these professionals to come back and invest in these HBCUs? Is it on them? Or so, okay, from your perspective, why? Tell me why.
Because that's what every school, that's the system. It's again, this shit's been in place for 150 years, bro. The trickle down way how the system goes is people graduate from these prestigious universities and they go on in life and they get jobs that afford them things that the average person can't have, and they put back into the school, and then that boosts this or that or this. Now, here's how they used to be able to get these student athletes. They used to be able to get them. Here's another movie, from back in the day that kind of touched on this, Blue Chips, with Shaq, Penny, Nick Nolte.
Penny, so, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
The money that came from the alumni, these booster clubs and things like that, like, was getting trickled down to the top athletes. So now the top athletes are coming to the school. So why is that important for the school? Because now they're going to be on ABC, NBC, Fox, ESPN, getting additional money to now come to the school from those different types of sorts of revenues. I mean, sources of revenue. So when you now add that, it's more money coming into the machine of that big school. And that's why your North Carolinas, your Dukes, your Kentuckys, you know what I'm saying? That's why those schools are always up there in basketball and football, your Alabamas, you know what I'm saying? Back in the day, Nebraska, Miami, now more Georgia and Clemson, you know, like that's why the rich keep getting richer because of the way how that system works.
Okay.
So until, this is why I say partially, if more HBCU alumni, and I went to a HBCU, shout out to Virginia State, like if we had more of our more wealthy alumni kicking more back, then it could kind of keep going a little bit more and a little bit more. But, and LBL made a good point right there. That's exactly what's going to happen. So, you know, there it is.
Hold on. Let me read LBL's comment. LBL for Life 1 says, brothers, HBCUs ain't going to make the difference if student athletes are still insulated and aren't academically inclined. What will end up happening is HBCUs will become as corrupt as white schools. Not to segue off of that, but I seen Dion throw that sub to why he left and went to Colorado. He's basically saying like they were stealing the money. I mean, that's what happened.
I mean, let's be real, man. He got a better opportunity, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not one of those people, because a lot of our people came out and were upset at him for making that move, saying, how you going to leave at HBCU, all this other stuff. It's like, yo, he got offered a better job. Like, why are you persecuting this man for taking a better job? How many of those same people, if offered a better job, would not take the damn better job for their family and themselves? So,
right.
That I hated all of that when people would like, come on, let's be real. Taking a better job. Well, he's not selling his soul to the devil for a better job, then you know that's totally different, you know. But come on, people are ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm on the fence, you know what I'm saying? On one hand, I thought that Deion Sanders, he did good for that HBCU, and it put HBCUs in a light I never seen HBCUs in before. Shit, sometimes I feel like the best thing about an HBCU in sports is the marching band, the halftime show. You know what I'm saying?
And I think we're still a long ways away. Like, what I'm about to say is not enough. We still need more. But like, MLB is trying, the NBA is trying. Like, the NBA had some HBCU games on NBA Network last year. I don't know if anybody caught those games, but they had some. Okay. MLB has, in conjunction with Griffey, called the Swingman Classic, and it's a game between HBCU teams. So
nice.
Yeah. So you know what I'm saying? Like, they're trying to finally start doing things. Obviously, as everything when it comes to us in this country, motherfuckers are late to the party. So, you know, but we finally are somewhere with that.
Yeah, that's good to know. But for the four people,
I mean everybody else helping and realizing are late to the party. Just to clear that up, to make sure that no one misconstrued that.
Yeah. Now, for the foreseeable future, it looked like things won't change. Again, man, where you at, Claude? We've been here almost an hour, man. I honestly, you are the inspiration for this show.
Yeah, I already told you, bro. I'm definitely getting on for that game, man. Miami, Buffalo. I got some parlays going on there, so you know.
Yeah, hold on. Let's take it there. Can you be trusted with helping people with their parlays? Are you that guy?
No, not at all. I'm not that guy. You lose your money. I don't want you to come looking for me, because we ain't doing that. Like, I'm not squaring up the box because somebody want to be mad over their $20, man.
Right. Me $5. I work off about $5. You know what I'm saying? Word. But
I'm not that guy. I I did hit last week. So that was a nice little come up last week.
We're not gonna be here for long. Do you mind if I throw the link in the chat? Maybe some other fans want to talk about this.
Throw that in there. That's why you know.
All right, so look, LBL, you definitely can be part of this conversation. I'm about to throw the link in the chat. And again, I'm a novice at some of this stuff, so I don't want you to think that I don't want to use the word well endowed. I don't know everything. Let's just say that. You know what I mean? I'm gonna throw the link in the chat now, but yeah, I really do think that dig talent wise, like for instance, right? You got Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper. They just got recruited by Rutgers, right? Rutgers is pretty much a big school. I know it's
all a big school though, bro. For real, if you really think about it. So you got it's a whole, and this is again part of the evil shit. It's like a whole fucking pyramid when you really look at the schools. You got your
break it down.
So, bro, you got your top schools. Those are going to be the schools that are best in football because football is what generates the most money. Then you got your schools that are really, really good at basketball. Those are next on the total pole. And
so you're saying college football make the most money in the USA?
Football makes the most money in the USA. Even though the players don't get paid the most, NFL is king. College football is Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of how it goes.
Okay. All right. Cool. No, I was listening. I didn't mean to cut you off. Continue.
No, I was just saying that's basically what I was saying right there. So that's how it goes. And then you probably got your schools that have like a mix of good and football and basketball, but not really good. You know what I'm saying? So basically, like Alabama, like you know how much money Nick Saban made that school over the past 10, 15 years before he retired? Just bang.
I'm not gonna say billion, but I would say millions. I would say millions. I wouldn't be surprised though.
Alabama was everywhere for a 10, 15 year span. Like you couldn't turn on a college football game, and even if they wasn't playing, they were still talking about them.
Yeah.
But it was the team to beat if they wasn't playing.
Yeah, and now Georgia is kind of like that.
Okay, that's what's up. LBL for Life, actually, LBL for Life 1 did actually join the panel. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. What did you wanna from our conversation? What did you say?
From everywhere y'all went, cause like my man here, I'm also a longtime Yankee fan, and I remember the controversy with what's that dude that he got on Griffey for wearing his hat backwards, remember?
Oh yeah, talking shit about that. Yep.
Yeah, so
what kind of trouble? What mean?
Griffey
Buck Showalter, right?
Yeah, he was the manager in like mid-90s.
So he was. So this is a problem just because he was hat to the back.
Yeah, because that's not how white boys wear them. That's not how white boys wear them. So.
Yeah.
Okay. So he pulled a Will Smith in high school, would flip his jacket inside out type shit.
And he was just doing this shit in batting practice. Like that's the funniest thing about it.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't like he out there in the game rocking his hat backwards, rocking his helmet backwards or some shit,
Yeah, I don't like that. That feel like a shut up and dribble type of dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. But I would say for me, Griffey's are close up there, but I would say they were probably the second best because I still got to give it to Bonds. Only because Bobby Bonds was a better player than Ken Griffey.
But hold on. Just to give you context, LBL. We talk about duos, father-son duos that played the same time. Did the Bonds play together at the same time?
I thought you just meant legacy. All right.
Nah,
that's a whole different stream right there. That's a whole different one right there.
Yeah, I got you.
So were you a fan of the Griffeys when they were playing baseball? I see you was. I see you say you was a fan in the comments.
And as I was typing in there, they were two different players, altogether, because actually, what's the name was like a really muscular dude, Ken Griffey. He was only 6 feet, but he was about 200 pounds, like in a solid, built like Reggie Jackson.
Yeah.
But he was a singles hitter. He was like a high average hitter. He would hit. He would, like, one year I think he had like 35 infield hits. Like where he's just hitting the ball to the shortstop or third base and beating it out.
Line,
He was one of the fastest dudes in the league, and he was a right fielder. And he played with all of those Hall of Famers: Pete Rose, Johnny Bench, all of them. Right.
Yeah,
so from the 70s.
They were stacked.
Yeah. So he got that, but Griffey was a whole different type of guy, because he was like he was like about 6'3" or so, right?
Yeah, like 6'3", about 210.
Yeah, so he had that angle, like he swung with, he had the beautiful compact swing.
The most
like,
beautiful swing ever.
Like, cause you know what they used to call Darryl Strawberry when he was in high school? Freaking Black Ted Williams. And
I did hear that before. Yeah,
that's
a
compliment. That's a compliment. And then that's another thing that
slow down. I'm a novice, so tell us why. Who's Ted Williams and why did they call him that? And tell us why King Griffey had the prettiest swing in baseball.
Well, Ted Williams is white dude, right? And he died a few years ago, but he had like one of the highest lifetime batting averages, like 344, and he had like 521 home runs. And this is after missing like almost 5 years of military service.
Yeah, he
right?
went to go to the war.
And
he's the last dude to hit 400.
Yes,
he
last dude.
I forgot what year, but that shit was.
I think it was like 1941 or something. So something a long time ago.
But it was a long time ago. But last dude to hit 400. And for anybody who don't know, 400 is like impossible to do. 300 and you one of the best in the league. 400.
Right.
And with him, 1 year, you know what the Triple Crown is, Breezy?
I know it's 3 crowns together, right? I'm joking.
Like when you lead
I don't know what it is.
It's when you lead. It's when you lead the league in home runs, RBIs, and batting average. 1 year he won the Triple Crown, and he didn't even win MVP.
Oh yeah, you said the mob running, right? P? That sounds like the mob running.
The Players Association. They got like mob connections or something. The way how they get shit done and muscle around the league,
Yeah, but how he get a Triple Crown and not win it? That's crazy, right?
Yeah, Well, remember there was less teams, and they look more at, because he played for the Boston Red Sox, and back then you had so fewer teams, and the Yankees were dominating. So even though like he played in the time of Joe DiMaggio, so it's like if you were on the winning team, you still might get the MVP, even if somebody had a better year than you.
Right.
Okay.
So that's how it went down. But what you made me think about when I was thinking about Strawberry and I was thinking about Tony Gwynn. What's funny is, Breezy, a lot of these dudes, like especially in Griffey's era, they came up and they played basketball too. They played baseball and basketball.
Dave Winfield played 4 sports in college. He led it for 4 sports.
Okay.
Was in the NIT.
Yeah.
He led Minnesota to the NIT. And and Tony Gwynn was a point guard for San Diego State. Ken Lofton Jr., who played for Cleveland,
Arizona.
He was on the Final Four team for Arizona. He was a point guard.
With, Steve Kerr.
Yeah, exactly.
Who else was on that team?
Was it Miles Simon? I don't remember.
Nah, he was a little bit after.
He was later, right?
Yeah. It was one other dude who was NBA on that team. So I can't remember his name right now. The 87 team.
Yeah, so they were good.
Hold on, you made me. I want to ask y'all a question. Because of the 2-sport thing, Bo Jackson, Michael Jordan, Deion Sanders. Who was the better baseball player out of the 3?
Come on.
Bo Jackson.
Did you really ask that question? Now, Deion wasn't no slouch, though, bro. Deion could ball.
But I heard Deion used to steal bases and all that.
Yeah, so, one of the best games that I ever went to as a kid, bro, Yankee game, Bo Jackson hit 3 home runs in the game. He was playing for KC, and we had Dion, and he hurt himself because Dion had an inside the park home run, and like Bo went diving for the ball and hurt himself, like hurt his arm.
Yeah.
That game was wild, bro. I was
You
like,
gotta be fast as a motherfucker to get an inside the park home run. You gotta be fast.
yo, bro,
Yeah.
and like 4.2, 4.25, 4.28, 40, some shit like that.
And see, at this time, you had a lot of, what it was, baseball. They didn't know how to market. They didn't know how to market their best players when their best players in the league happen to be black. So all at the time that Griffey came in, like you had Barry Bonds on the Pirates, you had Ricky Henderson on the A's, and all like the top players were all black, but they didn't know how to market that. They didn't know how to market it to it. So because at the same time, while this is happening in the minor leagues and in high school and in college, a lot of black players, that's the limit to where they could go because of the coaches. Because if you was a guy that you could hit 400, the white dude could hit 300, and he say, we're going to take the white dude and we're going to sign him. That used to happen a lot, and that's where they stop you, man. That's where they stop you. They don't wait till you get to the majors. They stop you sooner than that.
Okay, no, again, I'm a novice. I'm learning a lot from you and P. Shout out to LBLP for the content. And again, P, he definitely about to watch football, so we're gonna be out of here. I'll probably pull up a little later tonight.
Right.
But
thanks, guys.
hold on. Don't leave yet. I wanted to get. So again, just for my clarification, in baseball, it seemed like it was Bo Jackson first, Dion second, then Michael Jordan in that order. As far as who was best players.
I put Brian Jordan better than Michael Jordan, man. Shout out to Brian Jordan, another 2-sport athlete. He played for and he played for the Falcons.
Who?
Brian Jordan.
He's a cornerback, right?
Yeah, he played corner, a little bit of like kick return type stuff, but he didn't really last long in the NFL. But he had a way better baseball career.
Yeah,
definitely.
A
lot of dudes, man. There's some dudes out there.
Yeah, we could. That's a whole other stream. We could get into that too. But we short for time right now. But before you leave LBL, what's your take on Bronny in this season with LeBron James? How do you feel? What do you think it does for basketball? That's one part of the question. And second part of the question is just what kind of numbers you think Bronny puts up for the Lakers this season?
Yeah, I'm kind of with the consensus that he probably won't play a lot. If he's really serious about getting his game together, it's like it won't happen with him sitting on the Laker bench. It'll happen if he goes and gets reps and plays a lot more, in the G League. That's what will help him, Just like, and I told you his comp to me is like Gary Payton Jr. Gary Payton Jr. made himself into, he's older now, right? Like he's about 28 or so, but it took him a while. But he made himself into a rotational defensive player. And if he gets as good as that, then that's good. That's some money,
Yeah, he'll be around for, I could see him if he put the work in, and I could see he's gonna put the work in because of who his pops is. I could see him having a 10, 12-year career, man.
Yeah, no, me too. I think that when LeBron expands to the new team, I think he goes to the new team. I think that
all-star teams, like that probably ain't happening.
I honestly, I see him putting up a strong 8-4. You know what I'm saying? 8 points, 4 assists.
Coming off the bench, playing good defense. That's respectable, man. A couple of rebounds. Still in a half a game. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 5 rebounds. I think his stat line would be a good stat line. And again, it's not just about athleticism with LeBron. I think it's IQ as well. So if he could take on the IQ trait of his dad, his pops, then that'd be dope. But he's gonna definitely have all of that part of the game because Braun is gonna make sure. Like I'm pretty sure they watch film together. I'm pretty sure they've been watching film together for years. You know what I'm saying? So like all of that, I think is gonna be on point with him. Like it's just his size. He's a little small. He not super athletic or anything like that. So I think, like, a combination of those things is gonna limit him in certain ways. But his IQ, and if he hustle hard to stay in shape, I think those is gonna make up for the things that he lacks.
I just pulled up because I had to ask a question. Y'all talk about Bronny, right? And y'all was talking about the parlays and shit like that earlier, and I heard there's a parlay or there's a line up there that say Bronny James gets 25 points at like any time throughout the season. If you get 25 points in an NBA game, it's like $5 to make. I can't remember how much it was. I thought it was 2,500, but it might be less or more now. But you know how that shit be changing. But y'all think you could get 25 points at any game in the season?
I don't, but I'll throw $5 on it. I don't think he will, but I mean, fuck it, why not? It's $5, and if it hit, shit.
Imagine if you put 500, if you believe.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
Wow, they got your money. They took your money.
I'll say 20. I say he could do it because his father's LeBron. And I'm not saying LeBron got the refs in his pocket. I'm not saying that, but I do know that the refs take a liking to LeBron James and company.
Man, that's you know what I'm saying? Exactly like what you just speculated.
What it sounds like is they waiting for about 100 dudes to lay that 500 on there, and then even if someone else lays $5 once, they already made a ton of money off of you because he only did it once, and they got all that other money when y'all lost.
But before we go, I just wanted to get Jay's take on Bronny. Just give us a stat line. What do you, and give us a quick commercial, and then give us a stat line before we get up out of here. Talk to us. How do you feel? Well, give us the commercial, and then tell us what you think Bronny's stat line would be for his first rookie season.
I go by this as Jay, man. One half of a different world. And we do music. We got a lot of vibes out here for the people. Go to adifferentworld.com. Go, and I'm going to spell that because it's different. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. It's ADFRNTWRLD, adifferentworld.com. We got a new song out called Returning Energy right now. Because you sending love, we returning energy, man. That's what we do, man. But go to This Is JTV too.
That song is
shout out
fire,
to the panel. Shout out to the channel.
I heard his music, chat. I heard his music. His music is really dope, really great. Trust me, bro. I tap into his music. But again, how you feel about Bronny, Jay? Talk to us. What do you think his stat line looked like for the first rookie season?
Yo, honestly, I can't even give you an answer because I have no idea. Because it depends on how much playing time he get, and he probably not going to get no playing time like that unless they doing bad, like P said. I want to see him out there because I feel like if you got Bron out there, you ain't signed him to not play him with Bron on the court at the same time.
They gonna play.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact. I can see them doing alley oops and shit.
Yeah, he got to.
Right.
So I don't know. I look for 12 points, man. I'm optimistic. I'm optimistic. Fuck it.
Yep.
Wait. You said 12 points a game?
Yeah, 12 points.
Oh God.
Man. Let's go.
Oh, no.
Don't put your money. Don't put your money on Jay's comment on my behalf. Jay represents himself.
I do
so
represent myself.
Don't come looking. Don't come looking for me. If y'all put 12 points for Bronny.
This is just me being optimistic. Best case scenario for Bronny James, right?
Best case.
They gotta play him. They gotta play him because his jersey's selling. You know what I mean? People want to see him play. You ain't signed him to not play him with LeBron at the same time. He got, and eventually throughout the season, I think he could get better. And I mean, I think he.
Do they play on
best
Christmas?
Case scenario.
Do they play on Christmas?
Yeah,
they might.
They got a Christmas game.
I'm about to say, how the Lakers.
That would be the game.
That's gonna be his first
he's
game.
In the game enough.
So that would probably be the game where he'd be featured. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that might be his first game in the league.
That's his first game, right?
It
there?
could be.
I don't
Could
think
be.
he started the season on the.
Oh,
on
I
the
don't
Lakers
think so
team.
either.
Nah.
I think they want him to have a
I think they
future.
really make this shit box office and be like, oh, it's a Christmas miracle.
Build it up, Christmas special.
Yeah,
It's
man.
the
You know how
NBA, the Christmas
theatrical
special.
Why
NBA
do you
is.
think he's in the league though? Why do you think he got drafted?
His pops.
What you mean? Because his daddy.
Yeah, but so what I'm thinking is maybe it's two things, right? Like after that heart scare at USC, I think his dad was like, nah, come on out. I want to have you close to me, so that, because that's a scary thing if he's, on the other side of the country playing college ball and, and that happens. So I can understand that from a father's perspective. But as another thing, I think that LeBron is just I'm still trying to understand. Do you want this for him or do you want this for you?
I think it's
You know?
both. I think it's a
Yeah.
little bit of both.
I think it's
I
more
seen a
for-
quote.
for
I don't
him
know if it's
than
cap,
for himself.
but LeBron was saying that the reason why he respects Bronny so much is because Bronny didn't have to play basketball. He could have been a gamer. He could have been a chef. He could have did anything in the world, but he chose to be the GOAT, and that's where he gonna be.
Braun came in there and said, one of you niggas going to play basketball. All right?
Yo, but of
Yeah, I
course,
know.
my thing is, all these basketball player kids, of course, they're gonna be nice because they already got nice genetics. Know what I mean? Then they already around all of the best basketball players their whole life, learning shit, picking up the game, hearing shit that you're not privy to if you're not around the best basketball players in the world, and then getting the most opportunities to be seen based on the fact that they got a name.
Nah,
what happened to Marcus?
But so many of them. But look
Oh,
at
man.
the Currys. But look at the Currys.
Don't
Look at the
stop there,
Currys.
because then we're going to have to talk about Magic Johnson, and I do not want to get...
No. I'm
I
talking
do
about,
not
I'm
want
talking
to
about
get
Marcus Jordan.
canceled.
I'm talking about Marcus Jordan. I'm talking
You
about
want to
him.
talk
I ain't
about
talking
Dwayne
about Magic
Wade,
Kid.
right?
No, don't talk
I'm
about
talking-
Dwayne Wade and Magic Johnson, son.
I'm just
Look
talking
at
about
Gilbert
don't get
Arenas'
Reese
son. Look
canceled.
at Carmelo's
Two
son.
points,
Look at
man, in college.
Dylan Harper. Look at all of these dudes.
Right.
But Jordan, but the GOAT kid averaged 2 points, man, in college. He was terrible. And the other one I don't even think made the team.
Yeah.
So Jay, that ain't the case all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like they were supposed to be like the next coming, and they combined they averaged 2 points together.
Jordan wasn't thinking about it like that. You ain't see the thing where they was like Kobe called Jordan and was asking Jordan. He was like, "Yo, man," it was for Gigi. He's like, "Yo, I'm working out with Gigi. I want to know what type of exercise and drills you was doing when you was 9." He's like, "When I was 9, I wasn't thinking about basketball."
Right.
That's true.
But what I'm saying is, Jordan probably wasn't thinking that for his kids like that. They tried to pick it up. Well, that young and all that. Kobe was training her since she was forever. Like they grew up dribbling.
Yo, Mike was a different type of dude back then, man. Mike was running around in every casino, banging everything, smacked all the time, man. So he
wasn't taking his kids to basketball games.
Yeah.
Yo, Michael Jordan is funny, man. Michael Jordan said, "Yeah, they was doing drugs, but not me." Like, whatever, Mike.
That's how Mike.
Well, Marcus Jordan just got caught with that snowflake. I was like, "Yo, what's going on?"
On the breakfast table, bro.
Boy,
Bud on the breakfast table.
Right. Another Pueblo. Love me in the morning.
Watermelon.
Right next to the melons and pineapples and shit.
Watermelon and pie and shit.
Right. Honeydew melon and shit. Right next to the grape jelly. Shit was crazy, man.
Oh, nah, I ain't mean to touch the jelly. I was trying to reach for the cocaine, man. Like, what the fuck is
that shit? That shit was crazy.
Word. That just made me remind me of that movie when they was in the bathroom. He was like, "No, this is drug. It's gonna do this and that." I think it was the Anchorman or some shit.
That was the Dewey Cox story.
This is gonna make you.
Yo, nah, hold up. Just because you said that, you ain't see what Kodak Black said. Kodak Black, they say he gave the best and worst motivational speech at some. It was like a kids' football practice or something like that. But he was like, "Yo, kids, y'all should never do drugs because they too good, and then you gonna get fucked up on them, be wilding out."
I say Rich homie Quan did that.
Yo,
Like, how you gonna tell kids that though? But he ain't lying.
That's wild,
Nah,
bro. Like,
nah, but that's another episode for another time. And again, I want to respect the time. He said he about to watch the game. I want to say
come
thank
on,
you to
like
P.
6:15.
Yeah,
Well,
thanks a lot.
8:15 for y'all.
Right.
Okay. Oh, all right. So we got a few more minutes before we close it. But yeah, no, I think Rich Homie Quan, he said some of the same thing on Math Hoffa's Expert Opinion podcast, and he was just like, at first I wasn't taking Molly, but it was always around me, and then I started taking it, and then he was like, the withdrawals are the worst, you shouldn't do it.
Damn.
But I made some of the best music of my motherfucking life. Like, so it's mixed signals. It's giving mixed signals. You know what I'm saying?
The crazy thing is, a lot of musicians, bro, they music or some of their best music be attached to pain or drugs or whatever their vices are. Like the music be attached to the vices, and
that shit been
that's
forever
crazy.
in the music business too, like across all different genres of music. That's the crazy shit about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that
comedians
it's
and
about
musicians, bro. They go through some of the saddest shit. Like I was watching some crazy shit talking about like how all good comedians are really like all fucked up inside.
Yeah, I think comedians are dope because they got the confidence and courage to speak on things that you feel and think, but are afraid to say. So just getting that part out, I think, and if they could make comedy out of it, then they could make that a conversation. So things that you were holding in, now you could actually have conversations about. So I love comedians for that. Part of the reason why I felt the way I did about Dave Chappelle, because of the show and the skits that he was doing, it brought a lot of conversation. But I think it always going to be like that. But rest in peace to Rich Homie Quan, because it took a turn for the worse. You know what I mean? And it's not only him that it took a turn for the worse. And it's almost to say that liquor and drugs is almost synonymous. Like if you got if it's not like you doing Molly and you like, oh no Hennessy for me. You more times than not, you drinking and doing drugs. You know what I'm saying? So like shit is crazy. You know what I mean? But
something earlier, they said that this Generation Z is drinking alcohol way less than the generation before them, and one of the reasons why I thought it was because they pop so much pills. You can't drink, you fuck around and die.
Yeah, they make popping pills cool, but I ain't really with that. You know what I'm saying? But
I don't even like taking Tylenol, man. I don't like taking that shit.
Yeah, no, seriously, seriously. No Henny for me. Shout to the Tip Off Brooklyn Nets podcast. That's Iceman. He got a Brooklyn Net podcast. All of us besides LBL, but LBL be having a lot of content, man. Y'all gotta catch him on these panels with us. He always talking sports and you know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all subbed up to the Tip Off Brooklyn Nets podcast, subbed up to This Is JTV, subbed up to the Kitchen Sink. You know what I'm saying? These are all dope podcasts that give you great content. That being said,
what's up with the block, yo? I ain't heard nothing from him.
Me neither. I'm waiting, man. I ain't trying to pay those full price tickets for that.
I ain't hear nothing from him yet neither.
Not only that, bro, how much these tickets supposed to cost during this specific season? Like they can't be trying to run it up. Can't be trying to run it up, man.
They gotta give you hometown low price. We ain't shit.
You know what they did with the Liberty? You know what they did with the Liberty? Next year's Liberty went up 125%.
Damn. Because they 30-6. That's why.
Yeah. They already telling them, next year it's gonna be double and a quarter more.
Before we leave,
So we
Y'all
might
want
get
to?
this shit, man.
Yeah, before we leave, y'all want to get predictions on the Liberty? How y'all see the Liberty and how far y'all think they take it this year?
I was trying to. I was telling who's that? What's your nemesis? BK Hoops.
Your
Stop,
nemesis?
man. He's not my nemesis. I
That's
keep
your
saying
nemesis.
that, man.
I told him, man, I'd rather have Caitlin Clark than Ben Simmons.
Hold on. I feel you.
Yo,
Hold on. Let me say this, LBL. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show fans, man. He was talking spicy about Cam Thomas. I welcome him to a debate. Nobody really want to give me credit because it was his first debate, but he was talking hot shit like he would wanted to smoke. So when I called him out for it, he didn't wait to tell a chat after the fact. It was his first debate. He got nervous. You know what I'm saying? Palms sweaty on his t-shirt, mom spaghetti. You know what I mean? Once he realized that this shit was real and it was fitting to go down, he like, oh, this is my first debate. I just want you guys to know that. Ha ha ha! Nervous laugh. Yeah, because you talking that shit. Then I called you out for debate. But again, it's all up. And I gotta say this. Because you'll be on his panel. And I said this before, and I mean this. They
Yeah.
trying to forget about the Roy Jones Jr. voice. They must have forgot. They trying to forget about the Brooklyn Nets. They got us with one national game.
One.
All Nets content creators, I need y'all to turn up with me. Turn up. Keep pushing content this season. Keep going. Keep making content.
Yeah.
One game. That shit is
And let's
disrespectful.
keep tanking and keep tanking.
Yeah. We gotta get a top 3 pick.
yo,
If
man,
we
I'm
don't
tired
do
of hearing this, man.
bro. If we don't get a top 3 pick, we gonna be doomed for longer than a couple of years, man. Like it's
I
gonna
want it twice. I want
We
to
ain't
tank
get a top
twice.
3 pick. We ain't get a top 3 pick since like 23 years, I think, or some 13 years or some shit like that.
Kenyon Martin. Since Kenyon Martin.
Yeah.
Derek Favors. I think we had Derek Favors in 23.
Nah, he was wasn't he 4?
Yeah, we picked the wrong guy, but it was Derek.
Oh
Yeah, he ain't doing us no favors. He ain't doing us no favors. Yo, but what I will say is that we only had. I looked at the history. We did a show on this yesterday night. We had 2 first round picks ever. Kenyon Martin and Derek Coleman. That's it.
But you know what? You see what I want to repeat is, you know how we got Derek Coleman, right? Like 1990. Then like next
Kenny
year
Anderson.
we got Kenny Anderson number 2, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. We gotta tank both years. Because that the Banster kid is serious. We need to get 2 top 3 picks 2 years in a row, and then we'll be back.
Now that'd be dope.
Wow.
Like I just hope we don't. I don't want to go through 2 shit ass
Yeah,
years.
that's
Like
common,
I can
man.
take, like, you know what I'm saying. It's like when you already know your mom's when you was a kid, she makes some shit that you don't like for dinner, so you just gotta already like, fuck, man, I'm gonna just get through this shit. Like that's how this season is gonna be.
I'm saying we gotta be patient just for the 2. I'm not saying 3 years. I'm just saying 25. And then the summer of 26.
I don't know if I agree with you, bro. I don't know if I agree with that.
I don't know if you could do it, but we just did it already without
Bro, hold on.
Nah,
First
this
and
shit gonna
foremost,
be way worse than last year.
yeah, bro. I
If it's
recap.
way worse than last year, but the difference. Well, I don't know. There wasn't no expectations really last year neither. It ain't. The expectations are lower.
If you
The expectations last year in the beginning of the season was for us to at least make the playoffs.
I thought we was a 500 ball club before the season started.
It ain't no shame in, like, if we get Ace Bailey or whoever, Dylan Harper, and they up for they in the running for Rookie of the Year. Ain't no shame in still tanking to get another pick next year, because all of these dudes, I named like about 11 guys that had good rookie years, but they still ended up not in the playoffs. And I'm talking about everyone from Wemby to KD to Paolo to Luka to all of these guys. Nobody went from. It's very rare that you go from having that type of player and then that year you get them. Now you're supposed to be in the playoffs. Come on.
Nah, that's true. But what I'll say honestly is like I don't really think too many of them other dudes was put in situations where they had a couple of pieces already. Like, I don't think.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
If you look at that Supersonics team when KD got there, they didn't really have a Cam Thomas type or a Nick Claxton type.
Thank you.
I think if you throw a top 3 pick in the mix with them, I think now we're back to contending for an HC instead of.
I can't say that. I can't say contending. I could say you might be middle of the pack. You might be middle of the pack, but for me, I'm saying what I want is, like just like OKC, they had KD the first year, the next year they got Westbrook, right? That's what I want. I want 2 top 5 talents, period.
But then they got Harden the year after that though too. Like
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But they were good by the time they started being good by the time they got Harden, right?
Yeah, like they went to the playoffs that year. But
that's what I'm saying. That wasn't a long time.
I don't trust Sean Marks to be saying
that part. I get.
Yeah, let's slow it down, LBL. Let's slow it down.
I don't trust Sean Marks. Like we fucked up by keeping him this year because like now you basically giving him the keys to the rebuild too. And that's the wrong thing. Like, yo, he was the mastermind behind what went down and crashed and went in the flames. Once that shit happens, you gotta get rid of your GM. Because if now you bring this GM over to the rebuild, he's gonna fuck this up again too.
I don't know, man. I feel like he cleaned up his mess.
Not many owners is keeping a GM after a debacle like that shit happens, yo. Because that's on the GM. That's on nobody else but the GM for the whole fucking team falling apart. That's on the GM.
But you know what I'm gonna say? And I'm not a Marks fan, but what I'm gonna say is
they both co-signed Steve Nash, so I know Sean Marks. The pressure was off on Marks when he called Steve Nash in the room. He said, "This is the both of us or you." You know what I mean? So
we don't know if that came from the owner either. Like, yo, just get me this. I don't care what you got to do. Like the same thing that happened with Billy King, trading for all them old niggas on Celtics. Like it could have just been like, yo, this is what you need to do, or you're gonna lose your job. And Marks is like, all right, I'll do it.
Well, Billy King lost his job. Like if you really look at like teams, when teams go through big major changes, when you go through multiple coaches, when you lose all your stars, stuff like that, normally when that type of shit happens, the GM is done. Like, Sean Marks got some incriminating pictures of Joe Tsai, some shit, man. I'm telling you.
Like I said,
in almost every situation, the GM is not allowed to now conduct the rebuild. They're not.
Yeah. I think. I don't know the relationship between Hassan Marks, but like you said, P, maybe it's a lot of stuff we don't know about happening behind the scenes for them to have a loyalty. But based off of productivity, you would think they would at least interview somebody else. But to your point though, P, and again, this is the most pause-worthy name I heard in sports. The dude name is BJ Johnson. This is his name. His mama named him that. And he was Jeff Peterson's right-hand man. Jeff Peterson was the assistant GM. And for context, the assistant GM is the one that actually goes out and does the scouting of the college players. The GM role is more of signing free agents out of the free agency already in the NBA. So KD, Harden, Kyrie, that's on Sean Marks. Even the DeAndre Jordan, even Jaron Allen not getting signed and getting the DeAndre Jordan, that's on Sean Marks. But the actual talent, the Jalen Wilson, Cam Thomas, Noah Clowney, Nick Claxton, this is Jeff Peterson and BJ Johnson. That's what they did. So Jeff Peterson was the guy, but his right-hand man was BJ Johnson. So he would match it. All right, I'm not going all the way out to that school to scout them, but I need you to go out there and scout.
That's
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so they did
like,
hire in-house. So that was good.
Suppose we miss out like on Ace Bailey and we end up with Dylan Harper, right? Like my thing is, well, let's still keep tanking so that next year we can pay the
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, I don't think the tank.
I don't like how it's sound, man.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
like the tank in the second year. I like trying to be competitive that second year.
It
and still
happened though.
losing.
Look,
Yeah, I actively, and even this year, I'm not saying let's actively
and I'm
like go
saying
out
only
there and
because we
point
have,
shade or no shit like that. But
and I'm only saying that because these are the 2 years when we have our own picks, 25
Okay.
and 26. I'm saying now 27, we got a bunch of other people's picks, so then we can use that to trade and sign free agents or whatever. But what I'm saying is, I'm only saying while we have our own destiny in our hand, let's be shitty and get the top guy. That's what I'm saying.
nah, it's the way you saying it, bro. Like, let's be shitty.
Yo, man, I
Yeah,
never
no,
want
I'm
to
not.
lose on purpose, and I
Right,
don't
Yeah,
right.
want
yeah.
my
I
people
don't, I
on my
don't like
team
how that
that want to
sound.
go out there and lose.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not
NBL.
even cool with nobody that wants to, that's with going out there to lose, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't want to
Yo,
lose.
you
Like,
think? Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Hold on. Cap. We playing to close out, but I know how to reach you on Messenger. I'm a
now
these this.
we gotta have
Well,
a big, like, you gotta let me know in advance, bro, because you know how I roll. Like, just let me know. We gotta have a show to tank or not tank,
right.
and it's gotta be
yo, I'm gonna be the only one saying to not tank, and
Right.
I'm gonna be arguing both sides of the point, bro. Like, for real.
Right.
I'm the
Right.
only one that feel that way. But
No, we could do it. We could set it up. I could easily contact all three of y'all for us to
All
do
right.
it, and we could start the stream like that, opposed to us being an hour and a half in, and then get into it. But
And then,
I want,
like do a big show on that one, bro. Like,
right, absolutely. Before the season start too.
yeah,
Before
before
the
the
Yeah.
season start.
like
Mm-hmm.
maybe next couple of weeks or something, like preseason when that shit camp start to kick up, something like that. When matter of fact, yeah, when training camp start to kick up, bro, that'll probably be dope.
Word. Yeah, again, I want the chat to ignore Leak Bremer comments. He is a Celtics fan. Do not trust him. He is a Celtics fan. They benefit from our pain. So I
no,
just
but
want to
that's
let y'all
my
know
thing. Hold on, wait. I
he's a
agree with
cool
Leak.
guy, but
I
remember
don't
he's a
agree with what
Celtics fan.
he's saying, but I agree with the sentiment. If we ask and we go out there and lose every game,
Right.
we ask, and then we need our picks. But I'm not with going out there losing on purpose. I don't know what we can see from a coach by losing on purpose. I don't get, because my shit is, I think tanking is when, like, let's say Ben Simmons starts doing great. By somehow they're gonna trade him immediately. I feel like anybody on this team that starts doing something good, they're gonna get him the fuck out of here to make sure we doing bad. And
Yeah,
I don't
I
like.
Besides
don't think it's gonna.
I,
I
that's
don't
what I
think
don't
it's
like.
gonna be
Setting
like
Cam
that.
Thomas up for his first year to be the man to make him lose. Like,
I don't
like
think it's
that.
gonna be that though, bro. Like, I think it's gonna, like, our roster is what our roster is, and when you subtract the pieces that we subtracted last year to this year, like, we gonna be worse than what we were last year organically. Like, I honestly think organically.
No. I think organics is the route. We definitely gonna get into it. Don't want to really cut into what's going on with my guy P. Y'all heard what he said. Y'all could catch him talking about football on his channel. Nobody takes his parlay bet. He not gonna be accountable for you losing your $7. Listen, shout out to everybody that's in here. Shout out to League Bremer. He asked the chat to like the video. Please like the video. We got more content coming soon. I might do a live a little bit later tonight, and I'll send a link to these same guys to see if they're available. But I want to say thank you to everybody pulled up, except
Thank you.
Claude. Where the hell are you, Claude? I did this stream for you. I ain't see you in the chat one time. Shout out to Claude Smith, man. That's my guy, man. So again, if y'all see Claude Smith, let him know we did it, and you know what I'm saying.
He probably show up as much as the claw.
Oh man, yeah. I cannot for Claude be showing up. Claude be in the comments afterwards, like, yo, you could do this and that, and we could to improve the show. He always giving me pointers.
Gotcha.
And so I appreciate Claude. Shout out to Claude. And part of the reason why I say Nets fans is the best fans. But again, man, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for tapping in, and we be back soon with more content. I appreciate y'all. Peace, y'all.
All right, peace.